And good evening, and welcome along to the club. And that was all done really stylishly indeed. This is Monday. This is the club. This is brought to you in association with RedsBet. RedsBet, of course, are a betting site for all the LFC fans. It's made for you, tailored for the fans' needs. Remember to use the app and share the gamble and the glory and the responsible. Right? So that's the end of that. Right? I didn't have the laptop open to remember to read, and just like Ron Burgundy, unless it's in front of me, I can't do it. Anyway, moving on swiftly. Tonight in the house, I've got Robbie. What? Do you want to check my phone?
Do you want your phone?
That's not my phone.
Oh, it's my phone.
Yeah. No, my phone. Thanks. You may as well throw out my phone.
Are they my feet?
Good man, thank you. And that is, of course, Neil is on the decks tonight producing for us. In tonight, I've got Robbie O'Riordan, I've got Ray Dickinson, and of course, I have Andy Young beside me. Hi, Andy.
Hey.
How you keeping?
Good.
Yeah? You all excited this week? Champions League.
Yeah? Well excited.
6 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's happening.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I don't really. I'm not really thinking about the Champions League at the moment.
I'm just going to open my computer here.
Right.
I want to watch some porn while we're talking. So go on. Go on.
Nilo's job.
Did you enjoy it?
Did I enjoy it?
I was listening. I have to say, I was listening to Brian Kerr and Graham Souness on Off the Ball on the way up here.
Yeah.
It was just so much more entertaining than the shit that we come out with every week. I have to say, right? It's so much
Are they
more
excited?
They were very excited.
Yeah.
Brian
What are they excited
Brian
about
Kerr was
tomorrow?
a brilliant storyteller. He was telling about Duffer and Robbie Keane and everything like that, and it was all about the stories and stuff when they were away.
Yeah.
And very entertaining. You can't beat Brian Kerr.
Brian Kerr is a good bloke.
He is,
I
yeah.
have to say.
You
Friend of
sound
the
a bit
show.
like Brian Kerr at times.
Sometimes.
Yeah. He is a friend of the show.
No,
He is.
it's Joe's job. Brian Kerr.
What's
isn't it?
Joe's job?
Brian Kerr.
Oh, Brian Kerr. If anybody's
I think we all slip into Brian Kerr mode sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Anyway, well, tonight, lads, we've got the Bayern match ahead of us. We've got the United match ahead of us as well. And there's a lot of stuff has gone on in the interim. We've gone on another warm weather camp, which is really always a good idea for football players to get away to a warm weather camp in the middle of fucking winter in England and Ireland. Set you up well for the warm weather that you experience through February. But looking at this and looking at where we are tonight, how do we feel about what appears to be another outbreak of Ebola? They were loving Ebola especially. Well, although I will say I've heard it through the grapevine, according to Grizz. I mean, not according to Grizz at all, that Lovren's actually pregnant. Lovren was originally a woman and he's didn't get everything removed, and all of a sudden he's pregnant and the club are trying to keep it under wraps. So can I ask you, Robbie, if Lovren was pregnant and was to have a baby, right, what do you think you should call him? Or her?
Probably Mo, I'd say. Would it be? 'Cause he's best mates with him. So
Is Mo the father?
What?
Is Mo the father?
Mo Salah?
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting, won't it? If a big mop of curly hair comes out. It could be the first baby born to LFC players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would explain all his injuries.
Would it, yeah?
Yeah.
Ray, in your opinion, do you
Yeah.
think, would you like to see the child of Mo Salah and Dejan Lovren?
No, I'd go with Dejan Jr.
Yeah.
And just get him straight on our books,
Yeah.
basically.
It might be a big, costly medical bill if that's the case. In terms of
How would it work? Because you know the way Lovren needs to be babysat.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
I don't know. You must have to get like a babysitter of the babysitter.
A babysitter. Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone's watching it and you're wondering why it's very foggy in here, just because it is. We've let the flares off.
It seems to have cleared up a little bit.
Do you reckon?
Actually, it's perfect now. Yeah.
It is, yeah. It's not on, not on the main one. Since Neil sat there, he's fogged it down. But look, lads, all joking aside, I have an agenda in front of me, and I should really try use that agenda at times.
We might start with the two big games.
My help us if we're starting with it, right? So look, the first thing I want to talk about, ahead of the two big games, Timo Werner, lads. All the talk in the last 7 days has been Timo Werner and the idea that Timo Werner is signing for it. Most of it stems from those well-placed sources. What's it? The Bull, the firm, whatever it is, the Bull firm, the firm Bull, whatever it is, right? Those lads announced the done deal, and of course, very rational LFC family Twitter went rage over it and was convinced he was signing. Robbie, are you looking forward to seeing a new overlord Timo Werner playing for us next season?
I don't know, because I've never ever seen him play in my life.
That doesn't... Hang on a second. You want to step back there. It doesn't matter whether you've seen him or not. How many...
I thought you were a Bundesliga correspondent.
Yeah. I'm confused. What
Did you not get him in to cover the Bundesliga?
Do you realise you can just make it up?
Yeah, well, I've tried that before and it's never worked. So
I've seen him
change
loads
the
of
tactics.
times.
That doesn't make it. But there's nothing that you can just
We've got
make
it
it
on
up.
right now.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know who that is? That's Norwich. Norwich against Nuremberg. All right, that's who that is there. Norwich against. There he is. There's David Moyler there playing for Norwich. Anyway, right, lads. Robbie, what did you make of Timo Werner when you watched them for the last 4 years in the Bundesliga?
Actually, super footballer.
Right up our street, yeah.
Yeah, is he your type of player? Is he?
Well, from what I've heard, yeah. Well, I'll tell you from what I've seen, he is, yeah. Yeah, I suppose so. Well, we need backup for someone in the front three, but I'm not sure. I mean, they said the half then.
Ray, some people call him Timo. If he ends up in Liverpool, will he be a Timo?
I honestly don't care at this stage. Why are we talking about transfers when we've got
Because that's all
Bayern
people
Munich
care about. If
and
you
Manchester
really think
United
football is about football
on the
these days,
horizon?
it's about transfers. You tell me what you think of Timo Werner this instant, or Timo as he'll be known in Liverpool.
Ask me after the last game of the season when we've come a glorious second.
All right.
Yeah.
He was going to get us over the line. Missing jigsaw piece. Andy, you haven't stopped watching Timo Werner since he was under sevens at Hearts in Nairobi.
He's my favourite player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been saying it for years.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be an amazing acquisition.
Yeah. I think his
he can
name is
play.
too close to Tony Warner. I'm just saying. Every time I say it, I just think of Tony Warner.
He's excellent. in it.
Bonus says he was known a
He's great in a two behind the one in front of a tree,
I heard he likes to play it wide and come in central
which will make a lot of
with
sense.
the step overs and the turns.
I think it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that the winner of tomorrow's night's match gets to sign Timo Werner.
The Werner Bowl.
Yeah, it's the Werner Bowl. That's what it is. It's been advertised on CBS Sports Network. The Werner Bowl.
How much do Bayern Munich pay players these days?
7.
Have you any idea? Like, is it loads? Like, is it real loads?
Depends. They're paying James Rodriguez in air flights. And
What is James getting? Surely he can compete with
no,
that.
I can guarantee you, Real Madrid are probably paying his wages. They don't even know. They're just like, here are all these lads, just paid them their grand.
Yeah.
So, but
It's
he's
probably
on
an
loan, so
aspect
that's
of
why it's a
that,
2-year loan, so they don't have to pay all the wages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should be able to take him.
Take what, James
Yeah,
as well?
just
Yeah,
yeah.
he's ours.
It makes
Won't be able to. Brexit.
seriously.
Not
How
able to
much
sign
do
anyone.
Bayern Munich pay players? It seems like all of these targets that like everybody thinks is coming to Liverpool go to Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
What is the draw? What is the draw there? Like, I know Germany's lovely. The roads are great. You can drive real fast.
Yeah,
It's a lovely country.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's loads of fucking socialist football club thing going on, and
So
people like that now.
I have to say now.
Can we not just?
Oh, you're not really selling.
Can we not just?
Not signing for Bayern Munich here?
No, but like they're the positives. But you go home to England and there's like way more money. Surely,
Yeah.
you know about Bundesliga. How much are they paying players?
It depends on who the player is. Like the Bayern are the highest players in the league. Yeah.
Yeah, and how much are they paying?
Yes, that's great fucking insight.
Depends on who they are.
The top. Who's the highest?
Yeah.
Who's the highest?
Phil still thinks he's at work here, you know.
The insight that's going on here. But I'd say he's well. Timo's probably getting about 20 grand a week at Leipzig at the moment. Because Leipzig pay a lot of money,
Yeah, so we'd be able to.
right? So he's probably getting 60 grand a week if he goes to Bayern Munich. And knowing
Right.
the way we pay,
So we can multiply.
He's probably-
60
he'll
grand?
probably
Is
get
that
about-
all they're paying
I'd
over
say
there?
we'd offer him 15 grand a week plus 20 grand for every Thursday that he turns up in training, plus 15 grand for every goal he gets in training that isn't a header, plus another 20 grand for 10 goals. And if he makes more than 15 appearances in 2 matches this season, he get another bonus on top of that as well.
2016 diesel model.
Exactly. It's like the way Manchester City had the second highest wages bill in England, yet just all that money that they pay for image rights is paid to another company that doesn't happen to be in England at all and doesn't count in their wages bill.
Yeah.
So
Look, I don't know. Do the players go to Bayern Munich because we're never linked with them in the first place, or are we just losing now?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway,
don't know.
can't
We're
let
signing Timo, aren't
cannot let him slip.
Okay.
Mane and fucking Keita were all over him.
Yeah.
If they're saying it, they have my blessing.
I completely forgot that Mane played at Leipzig as well. or Red Bull.
The other ones,
South
yeah,
Korea.
yeah,
They're all the
yeah,
same, aren't
yeah.
they? They're not, technically, they're not the same, but they're all the same. Like it's like Red Bull and Toro Rosso in the Formula 3.
Like if them quotes, if them quotes are real, they're mad quotes. Like
I know, yeah.
you know, that's the shit that Barcelona get up to when they're trying to poach our players.
And look, I completely agree with poaching players. And I know we hate it when it's done to us. But if it's going to get done to us, we may as well join in the big poaching merry-go-round.
When you're top of the league in England, and you know you're consolidating Champions League football every year,
season.
you get into the final.
Yeah.
You know that's where you start acting.
I'd like to see us actually tranquilise the players that we want. Just sort of like,
Shoot them.
recreate those hunting pictures that people go rage about on Twitter. You know the ones that they're like, oh look at the disgrace those lads who killed that helpless elephant, right? So what we do is we tranquilise the player we want and have him pinned up like this.
Before City get there.
Just have him like this. Oh, the way you go. All right, boys.
We're saving the good stuff for the podcast here, aren't we? We really are.
No, this is about as much attention as I paid for
I hope we
football
are,
last
anyway.
week, right? There was an article in the paper that you guys sent around to me, and Nate, you can stick it on the lads because I didn't read this article.
Flash that up on the screen, that article.
Flash it up, yeah, stick the link up there, yeah?
Flash that article up on the screen.
Okay. Well, Robbie, cheers, thanks, Nate. Robbie, you sent me on the link today, and I didn't read it. So if you want to take us through that article in terms of what it was saying, because Andy said it was a good article as well, and I totally. What I'm going to do.
And I never
Which
read
article?
articles.
No, and what I'm going
The
to
Pep
do
article,
is
is
I'm
it?
going to do what people do on Twitter. I'm going to listen to what you say, and then I'm going to come in with a massive opinion of my own based on not reading the article and just listening to what you said, right? So, walk away.
Oh, the gist of it I got from
That was the gist. I want to plan this.
well, from what I read of it, it's basically with Pep Linders, he kind of knew towards the end of last season that he was going to come back, and he sat down with Klopp and they identified that they needed a midfielder. And obviously Fabinho, as we know, we signed him 2 days after the Champions League final. And it's just that talking about how many, obviously there was a bit of the uproar at the start of the season when he actually didn't play any games until about November, and it was just more trying to work out how to fit him in. So that's when they came up with that 4-2-3-1, and they kind of realised that they weren't getting the best out of Salah and the front three. But then obviously they feel in recent weeks that Fabinho can start to play in that three now, and we're probably going to go back to see them playing the way they were last season. Obviously as the way Bournemouth happened, so it's pretty much.
So basically, just backs up what most rational people say when people are going off and on about midfielders not playing and fans demanding the shape to be changed. Our fans, yeah. Well, I am the rationale. No, so talking about Salah not being in form and like in the background, there's fucking explanations to all of this.
You know, like it hasn't happened before either with other players as well.
Yeah, like with Ox had a slow start last year before he ended up being one of our best players, and Robertson as well, by the same account. Stuff is always going on in the background. There's an explanation to everything. People don't need to start, saying that, slating players like Henderson just because he's getting in. There's an explanation behind all these things. And what I thought was interesting about Pep coming in was he was there for the Champions League final. He was there the night before mixing with the players. And I just talked about how that to a lot of fans, like this was the end of a journey, like, the Champions League final. But for Liverpool, for Klopp and his team and everyone around them, it was just a stopping point. That they weren't going to sit still. They were moving towards next year. And like we were looking at goals going in and every game being mental. So Klopp was addressing that by just trying to put a bit more organisation into the midfield.
Yeah,
and he felt that Pep Linders could do that.
Right. Did you read the article?
No.
Right. You've listened to what the lad said there.
Yeah.
What would your opinion on the article be?
Absolutely no opinion.
No,
until I get on Twitter later.
I think it's outrageous that Klopp overruled Linders after he single-handedly signed Fabinho after the Champions League final. And the bigger question I want to know is the fact that Linders was there before the Champions League final the main reason why Buvac didn't turn up for the Champions League final? Is it? There must have been a row.
Yeah,
well, but he was already out of the picture in some
respects. Don't bring truth into this, Ray.
And is anyone here just pronouncing Linda wrong?
I don't know. So it was the Pep Linda article. going back to your point about, I know everyone is espousing patience now with players, right? Which is an interesting turn of events, right? And I don't like it personally. Right? I want to make rash judgments, and I want to stick to those rash judgments and never ever change my mind or opinion on these. So when I think about it, I'm saying to myself, the Fabinho thing, I questioned at the time about his speed. It seems that his speed of play has improved substantially over the course of the season. Was it in that article?
Speed in what sense?
In terms of the way he was offloading the ball, retaining possession and moving the ball quicker. When you look back at his early games, he was taking an extra touch and was holding on to and was getting caught in possession.
That was a lot of players that come to the league though as well.
It's just acclimatising, isn't it?
Right.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
Which is probably one of my biggest concerns about Keita when we've been talking about it.
Yeah.
It's taken him forever.
Yeah, well, a couple of concerns that they raised about Fabinho at the beginning was they coming up to speed with the intensity of the league, just the general, coming into the Premier
back
League.
on the old guest cam there, because
Seriously,
seriously,
Yeah, it's horrendous.
the Stena line has just come through there.
It's like someone's just fucking throwing smoke bomb
There's somebody
in here.
down in Dublin Bay. There's somebody down in Dublin Bay. Andy's making a comment.
Fucking hell.
Well, Andy,
So, and then the another thing that they observed was how high he is up the pitch, just making his tackles. Right, so he's excellent at that. He's elite level, pressing up high and tackling and winning the ball. But that wasn't going to be a fella sitting on his own as a 6. Because how could you do that?
if you ever say a number again to me, I'm gonna
So anyway, now the solution was to put in some beside him, and it's worked. And now they feel he can play as the Holland role because he's Wijnaldum there who can do everything.
Well, the Genie is the story of the season. Let's be honest about it. Like,
Yeah.
in terms of his,
Not necessarily outside of Liverpool though. He still hasn't really picked up that many plaudits. We know his role.
I think if you look behind the good pundits and the good journalists that are out there,
He's not going to get in the team of the year though, is he?
No, but like that's natural because he's
Pogba's a better chance of getting into the team of the year because he's got the match of the day moments.
Yeah,
the
and that's what it is.
he floats around the shop, throws in a few quality passes and goals.
Done a few dodgy tackles as
Yeah.
well. He's just fucking snidey bastard.
But as highlighted, Boy Linders, he kind of epitomises Liverpool. He is the type of what?
Linda.
The likes of him, Wijnaldum, Firmino. They are what Liverpool is at the moment. They want players to take responsibility for everything.
Yeah, everything.
Absolutely everything. Even Lovren's baby. All the fathers.
If Lovren has a baby now, it turns out that he has a baby, it's going to be outrageous.
There
This
won't
is
need to
probably
be-
the greatest scoop on ever
Yeah.
in the history of LFC podcasts.
There won't need to be a paternity test. Everybody's going to say, I am the father.
Yeah. I am the father. Right, lads, there is a Bayern Munich match tomorrow.
Yeah.
There is a next round of the Champions League. You know, we're on the background. What people won't realise is that we're watching Chelsea and Man U because we do have one eye towards the league at the weekend. I've seen some outrageous shouts of people saying we just dump the Champions League and focus on the league. Now, in a way, I can get the sentiment because it's been so long since we won the league, and I think we all want to win the league more than we want to win the Champions League. But let's be honest about it. You're in the Champions League. You've had a long rest. They've had the warm weather training. They've had a long rest. You've got an awful lot of players back from injury. You've got the issue that you have with Van Dijk in terms of him being banned for the game. So in reality, lads, is there why shouldn't we go out and win tomorrow night, Robbie?
Oh, I agree, yeah. Because I kind of think back to when we were in the Champions League under Rodgers and you threw that game at the Bernabeu and people are rightfully pissed off at it because, let's be honest here, every time we're in that competition throughout the years, we've generally done well, give or take a couple of years. So, have a good goal going for both. It's only an extra 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I think it's 6. But there's no reason why we can't go far in both because if you get through this tie, you never know, you might get an easy enough tie in the next round.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're in the semis. It's a cup competition at the end of the day. It's not.
It's open enough. There's no out and out kind
Super
of
team.
Yeah, there isn't really. It's a any one of 8 teams or so could probably win at the end of the day. And I think if you think about it logically, why wouldn't we just try and build this momentum through the two competitions that were left in. Like it doesn't make any sense to sort of prioritise one over the other really at this point.
If it was that black and white, of course you might, right? You know, we all would prefer to win the league. I think everyone agrees with that.
Yeah,
you want to win both, but if you had a choice, but by throwing one competition doesn't guarantee you that you're going to win the league either.
No,
so
not at all. No, not when you consider what you're up against. Yeah,
but like just from personally, how I feel about it is like I'm not as excited about the Champions League game as I normally would be.
No,
because all I can think about is this Man United,
especially in the week that we're leading into. Yeah, that it's in the same week sort of thing, and
you could probably draw tomorrow. You know, you're not out of it.
Yeah.
You can go over there and win.
Or get a high score draw.
Yeah.
Is it just
through.
me though? I can't remember such a gap between the first leg and the second leg in the Champions League. It's not. You look 2 weeks ahead, and there's still no sign of the next round.
3 weeks.
It's 3 weeks. Yeah, it just seems an awful long gap.
I think it's the longest gap you can have, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically,
They spread it out now. They used to always do them in the same week, I think. And now because United were on last week and Spurs were on last week. It's just the way they spread it out.
Yeah.
I just, to me, that sort of disconnects the whole. You get
the tie, the aspect of the tie being the two-legged tie.
You win or draw tomorrow, and then it's like it's literally parked for a good few weeks, and then it'll suddenly just be there again. It's like, oh yeah, we've got another game to go. But come here, on that.
Is that because there's an international break as well?
No, it's before that.
It's before it, is it?
Yeah.
The week before it.
Okay.
Right.
Strange, isn't it?
We have a league game, and then I think we're 2 weeks after that. I think it's because we're playing next week.
We've got a tight run of fixtures right now. You've got Bayern, you've got United, you've got Watford on Wednesday, and then you've got the Derby
again.
Yeah,
And then you've got Bayern Munich after
4 games in 10 days.
Yeah, it's lucky they had that warm weather break. Bit of sunshine. Pre-season.
You don't like these warm weather breaks, do you?
I fucking hate them.
Well, they're a reward for failure for a start, which is they're a reward for failure, aren't they? Get yourselves out the FA Cup, lads. We'll go on a jolly.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it equates to.
Well,
send them somewhere
actually,
a bit more.
I think that's a
harsh.
I think they should eat grill for breakfast.
Send it to the North Pole.
No, I have to say, get knocked out. They deserve a reward for getting knocked out of the FA Cup. It's like, who cares? Like, literally, who cares? You know what I mean? Ray, we're sitting here not in the FA Cup. Did you actually care that we went to the FA Cup the weekend?
No, I actually forgot about football pretty much.
There we go.
Although I did feel a little bit lost, having nothing to really sort of focus the mind on in terms of the league.
Right. Yeah. I enjoyed the weekend off. I got to catch up with loads of things.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. There's lots of good things to watch that doesn't involve football on television. Can't remember any of them, but there is lots to watch. I watched a lot of things. Anyway, like in a Trump style, I watched a lot of things. A lot of things I watched. Anyway, lads, look, on that, and just to wrap up the Periscope bit, but look, heading into it, we'll talk a bit more about Bayern and their approach to the game that's there. But let's be honest, this is arguably one of the weakest Bayern Munich teams to visit England in the last 5 to 6 years. They are carrying a good few injuries into it as well.
The suspension.
Yeah.
Muller.
But interestingly, they're doing a bit of a city on Dortmund at the moment. Dortmund had a 7-point lead. It's now down to 3 points. I think Dortmund were losing 1-0 tonight. If they lose, it means that Bayern will have a game in hand to go level with them and they have a better goal difference, which just seems incredible when you go back a few weeks beforehand and Dortmund were flying.
So you do still watch the Bundesliga? Fair play to you.
Oh, thanks, Anna. I just don't go on about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't spend my time now telling everyone how amazing it is anymore.
What is the new league?
Like, you
know, what is the new cool league?
The new cool league?
Yeah.
It's the Mexiliga.
Is it?
The Liga Mexica.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's where all the lads are going.
Maradona manages the team from Sinaloa.
Yeah,
it's the biggest cartel in the whole country.
Biggest cartel.
I wonder what the connection is.
I know, yeah. Just as El Chapo's going down, Maradona builds up in Sinaloa and he's dancing away in the dressing room.
It's fucking mad.
Nothing to see there, lads. Nothing to see there.
So, like, if I was setting up a pretendy Twitter account, like, to let on that I know about foot players all over the shop and, you know, that the Mexicana
Club
league.
de Cuervos. That's who you want to support.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah, just follow the Club de Cuervos. Or Sinaloa. If you want to have a bit of crack, have Maradona's team.
Because I don't think people still pretend they know everything about the Bundy anymore.
I don't know. I think a lot because an awful lot of the English players have gone to the Bundesliga, right?
It's not popular anymore.
All the football hipsters now have stopped watching it. Because like, you've got Serge Gnabry playing tomorrow night for Bayern Munich. You've got Jadon Sanchez playing for Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
And you've got the other lads who went over as well. And a few of them more, they want to bring them over as well. So now it's like Well, if they're all English players, they're down and watch it. You'll have to find a new league to go watch.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I suppose if anyone out there knows the new up and coming league,
Yeah.
be good to catch up on. Holland is in faction again.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Ajax have loads of good players, and people looking at PSV and
That
Feyenoord.
would be a good show.
Yeah.
Any
other league you'd like to see back in vogue?
I'd say the Italian league would be a good league to pretend you know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robbie, you know
Someone
any
said-
players in the
actually-
Italian league?
No.
I've seen
For
someone.
the first time ever, you can actually say.
was on the bench for Inter Milan.
Yeah,
weekend, right?
yeah, there was. There's an Irish
Yeah,
fella on thing.
yeah.
But for the first time ever, you can actually say Lasagna, who's playing in the Italian league.
For Bologna.
Yeah, for Bologna, that's everyone's watching.
Kevin Lasagna.
Yeah, it is. Honestly,
Amazing.
he's the
Lasagna's
latest
playing for
football.
Bolognese.
Yeah.
That is.
You turn your mic up so people can hear you. Anyway, right. So look, that has been the Perry. I notice all the Chelsea fans are going home. There's
I
about
know
10
we
minutes
had
left.
to be watching
Yeah.
this.
Top fans. Neil, can you keep your head down? And when you put me back on there so I can wave to everyone in the
I
fog.
won't be able to see when you put a high vis vest on.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen
I'll
someone
put a yellow
pretending
vest
they. I've seen someone pretending they
Vest
knew
on.
about.
Can you see me out there? Can you? Can you see me? Anyway, that's been the club. What was I saying?
No, I seen someone on Twitter there the other day pretending they knew about AC Milan,
Did
saying
you?
that the AC Milan team is quality, and I looked and I didn't know any
690.
fucking any player.
That's like literally saying a Roy Hodgson Liverpool was quality. If you
Yeah.
wanted to be that hipster about it, that's
The only fucking player I knew was the keeper.
Do you not remember
Pepe
Suso?
Reina.
Oh, Suso,
Suso, yeah.
And Fabio
Suso,
Reini played right back.
And
Suso's
Brunini's
the
playing for them
best.
as well.
Suso's the best player in the league there.
Anyway, look, if you can see me through the fog. That's been the club.
Look at Lighthouse.
That's been a club. We will be back. There's a final whistle on tomorrow night. Gav is in here with a couple of lads to do the post-game analysis and half-time analysis. Cop table's back on Thursday to look ahead to the Man United game, which we're also going to cover off on the podcast. And then, what else are we doing? On something the Fatback for. If Gav can fix his computer, he'll be back on this weekend. He rang me today looking for a disc to install Windows 10, and I nearly crapped myself laughing. I was like,
He was using Windows 3.6.
he was on Windows Vista, the Betamax version. He was looking for a VH. I know, yeah. He was asking, where do I rewind the tape to get to build it up? So if he fixes that up, we'll have 8-bit computers doing the
He nearly had it going, but then someone nudged off the tape deck. You know, it was Commodore 64. Yeah.
Show on Micro Pro Soccer instead. Anyway, so that's it. We're back. This is being the club with Reds Bet. The podcast will be out later on. I have to drop Robbie home, so it'll probably be out just after 12, which is the same time as normal. And then it'll be out tomorrow, and then we said the match, and then all the other stuff, and then we'll be all along there. So Neil, you go up into Restream. I'm just going to teach Neil what to do here. So go back into our browser, Neil.
You could walk across and show him how to do it.
And
Nobody
then
would
just,
see.
you just turn. You see,